Everybody, Steve on the Guru Brew. Well, this is a quick tutorial guide on Windows 8. It's more of a survival guide. You know, Windows 7 and down through were about all the same when it come to navigation, and they really threw a wrench in when it come to Windows 8. It's completely different, and you've probably heard by now that it's more set up for the touchscreen, and that's true. You can survive with a Windows keyboard and mouse. You just have to know your way around. So in this edition of the Guru Brew, Windows 8 tutorial for navigation and the survival guide coming up. Okay, well, here we are at my Windows 8 screen, and it is quite a bit different than what you're probably used to seeing. If you look, you will see that there are little tiles, they call them. They're squares with all the applications in them, such as here, the mail and people and messages. There's one called desktop, and we'll get to that in a minute. But this screen replaces the start screen that was originally on your desktop down at the lower left corner. And all these icons do are locations to launch the applications. They're like shortcuts. And not all the applications that you have on your computer may be listed in this start menu. These are simply the applications that you use most. Now, if you notice, some of them move around, and these are called live tiles. And some of the tiles can be live, and some of them are just static with just a picture. And you can turn off and on live tiles as you wish if it is supported. We'll do other videos on the live tiles. I want to kind of keep this video down to just the basics of how you would navigate for now, though. You can certainly move these little icons around as well, but that is again for another tutorial. I just wanted you to be aware that everything is not necessarily on this start menu, and this is completely customizable. Okay, so I would like to take you to a spot that is familiar to you. If you look here, there is one called desktop here on the bottom left. And if I click on it, it brings up something that looks very familiar. It has the recycle bin here in the corner, then a wallpaper background. It has our clock in the corner and all the applications running, as well as the speaker. Over here there's a internet browser button and a file manager button. But what is missing is the start button. Now, Windows 8 is set up for touchpad as well as using a keyboard and mouse. So what we've done is set up what's called zones, and there's zones in every corner of the screen. There's 4 zones. There's actually a few more, but those are the ones we'll be dealing with first. If you take your mouse and you take it to the left bottom corner, you don't have to click yet. You'll see that a little icon pops up that says start on it, and then if you click, it will take you back to the start menu. And so that is how you navigate back to the start menu. That's one way out of 3 ways that I know about. Let's go back to the desktop, and I'll show you another way. Another way would be a key on your keyboard, the Windows key. It looks like this, and if I click the Windows key, it again takes you back. And if I click it one more time, it takes you back to the screen you were at last, so it acts like a back button as well. So now that this is our new start screen, let's say we wanted to open a music application. We could click here, and it would open the application full screen rather than a window like you're probably used to. And everything is scrolled left to right, and that's another thing that you kind of have to get used to. You can either use your arrow keys to scroll left or right, or you can use your mouse and just simply push it to one corner or the other, or you can use your actual wheel on your mouse to spin and go left and right as well. Now, if you do have a touchpad system, of course, you can just swipe your finger across it. Now, if you also notice, this application does not have a close box. There's no X's in the corner or anything like that. The way that you close an application is you take your arrow and you push it to the top middle of the page, and it turns into a hand. You can see up here. And then you hold down your left mouse button and you drag it right on down to the bottom and then let go, and that closes it. So there's no more X's, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's go ahead and launch some things up here. Let's click on this sports application here. And I'm going to go ahead and let that load up, and I'm going to go ahead and hit my Windows key here to go back to the start. I'm just going to load some things. I'm going to load my weather. Okay, that's going. I'm going to hit my Windows key again. I'm going to click on this store button. It's like a shopping type thing. And I'm going to click my Windows key one more time, and I'm going to go to Maps. Let's go ahead and open Maps. And I want to show you how to go between applications is what we're working on here. Okay, so I've opened quite a few applications. Let's go ahead and hit our start button again, or our Windows button on our keyboard. And I want to show you how to go between those for multitasking. First of all, one at a time. If we take our upper left corner and just take our mouse and hover in that, you can see that there's a map at the top. That's because that was the last application that we went to. If I pull down slightly, I don't have to click, just pull down, you will notice that all the other icons open up for the applications that are running. So, you know, our desktop, sports, weather, store, and the map are all open. If I wanted to go to just the weather, I could come here, pick it, and click it. And then, you know, that would be the weather. Let's go back to that corner again here and pull down slightly until it all opens up. Now, if I wanted to close the maps function, I could simply right-click on it and close, and that would close the maps. Now, remember how I said we could close these as well. You just go up to the top and wait for the hand, and then hold down and pull straight down and go down and let go, and that would close that. But I want to show you how you can multitask. Let's go ahead, instead of pulling it down and letting go, let's push it to the right here, and you'll get a bar that pops up, and then let go, and you'll see that it conforms to like a quarter of the page here. And I can grab a hold of this black bar, and I can actually pull it over and get a full screen, or I can pull it again. Whoops, I missed it. I could pull it to this side and get it on that side, or I could double click on this black bar and switch sides. Okay. Now, if I wanted to fill this area with something and multitask, I could go back up to my chooser hover and just come on down. And then let's open the sports on the left panel here. And then the sports is opening up on the left panel, and you can see it's still loading. It's a little bit slow today. But I could go ahead and scroll through my sports and leave my weather here on the right side. Or I could actually grab this bar and switch this over here, and then make this part big and this part would be small, okay? Or, and you can see how it conforms to the size that you have available for it. Or I could click a couple times on that bar and it switches back like that. Okay, let's go back to our start menu. And I want to show you another zone, and that is over here to the right side on the upper and lower corners. If I push my mouse over to those corners on the upper right or bottom, you'll see that you get these things that are called charms, and depending on where you are I'm on a start menu right now, but if I had an application going and brought the charms up, I may get different charms. So it depends on what application is currently running. But these are the charms that come up with the start menu. And for those of you that are wondering, this is one way to shut the computer down, is by bringing up these charms and then clicking on the the settings button here once. And then you can see all the different little settings that are in here. This is not the control panel. These are just like volume and that sort of thing. But there's a power button here that you can click here. And this would be how you can sleep, shut down, or restart your machine. So those are charms. Again, the way that you get to them is you can pick the upper left corner or the lower right hand corner, and just hover in the corner and the charms will pop up for you, and then you can select whatever one that you wish. And you can also go back to the start button here by clicking this. I wanted to show you two more things to help you in your quest to understand the navigation of Windows 8. One of them is not all programs show up on these start menus. These are just the most frequently used that you'll eventually be setting up, the ones that you like the most. If you know that something's on your computer that you don't see in this list, you can always go to a blank spot on the start menu, such as here, and use your right hand mouse button and click, and a little bar will pop up here, and there's an all apps that you can click here. And if you click the all apps button, it shows you everything that is currently installed as far as an application on this machine, so that can be helpful too. And then you can use your escape button to get back. One other thing is for system tools, if you go to the lower left corner, you can hover there where the start menu would normally be, and you can right click, and that will bring up a list of tasks that are system related, such as the control panel, file manager, that sort of thing. The last thing that I'll leave you with is, if you're having trouble finding something, you can come back to this start page and just begin typing what you're looking for. Let's say I want to find the control panel. I can just start typing, and you can see I just typed in control, and it's already given me quite a few choices here. But here's what I'm looking for here, and if I click it, then I get my control panel. So let's do that one more time. Let's go back to the start menu, and I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to type in weather. There it is, weather, and it's opening. So that's it. Well, that is it for this edition of the Guru Brew. I hope you learned something in the survival guide for navigation of Windows 8. It's definitely a culture shock, and if you're not used to it, it can really throw you full loop. It's unlike anything Windows has done in the past, so that's why it's so different. They're trying to introduce the new touchscreen in, and that's a lot of the reason behind this madness, I'm sure. Well, thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Hey guys, this is Steve. Thanks for watching. Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, and be sure to rate and comment. See ya.